#1 sports weekends. Fox Sports, only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM.
96.3 FM.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
Minutes after 9 o'clock, it's time for In the Garden with Carol Ann. Carol Ann Baldwin is your host. She's in the studio right now ready to take your calls. The phone number is 622-9622. Carol Ann is a woman, and this is International Women's Day.
There you go.
And pancakes are really vegetables, and it's National Pancake Day. So,
okay.
I think, Carol Ann, there's a plan somewhere in that.
Somewhere in
that
there,
mix.
in that mix.
Would you debate me? Are pancakes vegetables?
I wouldn't call a pancake a vegetable.
You wouldn't?
No.
But what's it made out of?
Well, I mean, but you got eggs in there too.
Oh, okay.
All right. There's other stuff. Just because there's flour in there does not make it a vegetable.
Good morning, Carolyn. How are you?
Good morning, Larry. Real good. And thank you, Black Cow Manure, as coming back again this spring as a sponsor. Great mature manure.
You look good in black.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Looks nice.
But, it's, oh boy, what an exciting week this is, actually. Forget all the women's, deal and the pancake and all of that stuff. You can have some pancakes. I have pancakes on Sunday. That's my day for pancakes. We got the Master Gardener Spring Festival this weekend.
Right.
Yeah, we are on the countdown. It's, T-minus, T-minus 4 days now.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited. I haven't gone over there for both days in a couple of years, and I'm going to be there both days, and friends of mine who know me on Facebook and things like that, I said I posted something to the Master Gardener's Facebook page this morning of, as I was in there, I was really this year thinking about so many people who have influenced me as a Master Gardener and where I'm at right now, and it was just, they've passed a few years back, so of course it's warm memories and thinking of the good stuff and thinking, and those who are listening who know Bill Miranda go, yes, Bill, it'll be okay. The gardens will look fine by Saturday. He always fretted this week and stressed that it would not look up to his standard, and I think we'll be okay. I think we're going to have a gorgeous weekend for the festival, and so hope everybody comes out and partakes with our vendors and takes in a couple of seminars and just enjoy and learn, and with me, today we're doing, again, like we did last week, I'm going to do some entries for a drawing after the festival
what do you call
for the
that
Smart
again?
Pot.
Smart Pot.
The Smart Pots, they're an aeration, what they call a patent aeration container. I have several different sizes, and they're made here in the United States. You can look them up online, smartpots.com. But I have some that I'm going to give away. So at each of the breaks here at quarter after, half past, quarter till, I'm going to take names and numbers when we're off the air. If you don't get in during that, come see me at the Spring Festival, either Saturday or Sunday, and I'm going to take more names and numbers so we can get a bunch of people in because they're really neat. We've got them planted. I got a few of them planted at the Ag Center. They sell them there at the Ag Center. So if you see them and you see something, you go, or you win one but you want a couple more, you can get them there or you can buy them online. And we were looking them up last week. They're not expensive. They're fairly reasonably priced.
Yeah.
And
you know what's hard to do though? Describe them. Somebody was asking me, "What are they?" And I said, "What?"
It is a little difficult to describe.
Fabric.
It's a fabric bag. This one here
looks
is
like the
what
size
they call
of a hat box, right?
This one's a number 7. and it holds 26.5 liters, or is 0.93 cubic feet. It's a woven.
But you don't
fabric.
bury them. You don't
bury it. Yeah, I guess you could.
Okay.
You could, but if it's your almost a raised bed, you would fill this full of your favorite garden mix, potting mix, however, and plant right in it. And this one here is probably about the size. You could grow a few lettuce in there, or a tomato, or a pepper, things like that. Over at the Ag Center, I've got what they call the Big Bed Junior. It's 7 square feet of planting area. It's about a foot deep, and in that I've planted a salsa garden. I've got Roma tomatoes. It actually looks gorgeous.
Looks pretty good.
It looks nice. It's got 2 Roma tomatoes in it. It has a jalapeno pepper. It has a bell pepper, cilantro, as well as a couple of onions tucked in there. Looks gorgeous, and it's growing well. I have another one that's actually the bag has handles on it. It's a much larger bag. I want to say it's a 20. And that one was when they recommended planting potatoes in, but rolling that down and starting, and as the potatoes grow, roll it up and continue to fill with soil so that you fill your whole bag full of potatoes. And that, in comparison to my one that I do with perlite, the one in the Smart Pot is 10 times better. So we're getting a little bit of a comparison.
What's the explanation for that?
One is probably the soil has some more nutrition in it than what the perlite does. That I'm not getting quite enough nutrition into the perlite, but that the soil itself has plenty. So, but yeah, I can't answer that. Phone's ringing away. That's my thought on it. But I planted a couple other things today. The gardens are planted. A square foot garden's planted. A regular family bed is planted. Containers are planted. And so there's all kinds of things. Everything's getting, of course, spruced up. As with anything, if you're going to have a show or an event, you're gonna straighten up.
So you're busy this week because of the garden show, and
well, it's that was today. I was in the Ag Center. You'll find people all over the place there today, but that's they're marking out the spots for the vendors. They're doing all kinds of stuff. So
the phone lines are open if you want to call Carol Ann about any of the above, or even if it hasn't been mentioned. The phone number is 622-9622, and of course, this is a full-hour show.
Right.
So you have plenty of time to ask, but I recommend you call early. And today you're taking names like in...
I'm taking names, yeah.
In the next break.
During the break, yeah.
Coming up right now.
Yeah.
Okay, well, 2 minutes.
Sure. And we'll take the names. Just, you want to get entered. And I think I've got 2 or 3 packages. I forget now what I set aside at the house that I have of these, and they're each a different of sizes and such, and they're just neat. If you're growing herbs, I mean, you can contain everything in here. It's like growing in any other container, but I was explained that the advantage to these versus a plastic pot is that, like planting in the ground, the pots breathe. There's air circulation, even though they are what appears to be, impermeable.
So do you think we'll see like the future of like indoor flower pots change? Do you think they'll be more permeable? Is that the word?
Well, that's possibly. Yeah, I mean that's.
Or would that?
But I think this is more for an outdoor.
So that because if air gets through, then water does too. Correct.
Right.
Okay. So you don't want that on your windowsill. Your indoor windowsill.
You wouldn't necessarily want that. But outside, and these are generally fairly large. Like I said, this is a 7. I think the smallest is a 3, in which I planted some stevia in there because that's one of the talks at the festival this year is how to grow and is growing stevia.
Can I interject something with stevia? Yesterday we had a sugar expert.
Okay.
He wrote a whole book about sugar.
Okay.
And he was absolutely down on sugar.
Right.
He was absolutely down on fructose and
right.
I mean, you name it, he was down on it. And then I brought up stevia. He said, "Oh, that's the good one."
Right. Because
Health-wise.
health-wise, right? Because it doesn't have the calories, it doesn't do the glycemic spikes for
Right.
for diabetics
Right,
or
right.
anybody. Just you're trying to not have that sugar high or that, because then you have the sugar down a few hours later.
Yeah. So I just thought I'd throw that in there. So
Yeah.
if you want to get away from sugar but still want things sweet, stevia seems to be the way to
Seems
go.
to be the thing.
All right, we'll take a break. If you want to get your name into the running for the Smart Pots, you need to call Carolina and get your name in right now, 622-9622. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. There is a high risk of rip currents at the beaches throughout the midweek period. Tuesday will be nice with sunshine and some clouds and a gusty breeze along the coast, the high 77 to 81. Partly cloudy Tuesday night, lows ranging from the mid and upper 50s inland to about the mid 60s along the coast. Wednesday and Thursday, times of clouds and sun and breezy. The high Wednesday 80 to 84, Thursday's high 82 to 86. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Hi, this is Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin, the host of In the Garden with Carol Ann. Let me tell you what I use to get away from fertilizing the old-fashioned way. I use Dynamite Premium Plant Food for my flowers and veggies. With its easy, earth-friendly patented coating, there's no risk of over-fertilizing. Dynamite Premium Plant Food releases food for 6 months, so there are no highs or lows during the growing season. Dynamite Premium Plant Food contains nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and micronutrients like copper, magnesium, iron, and zinc. This gives my plants explosions of bloom for both flowers and veggies. When I use Dynamite Premium Plant Food, I only have to use it once every 6 months and not worry about the nutrients washing out with heavy rains or irrigation. To learn more about the Dynamite family of products, go to dynamiteplantfood.com. Dynamite Premium Plant Food is so easy to use that you'll spend less time working in your garden and more time enjoying it.
Robin, let's try a little plant trivia. Name this nursery. It's a not-for-profit, and it teaches growing and caring for plants to their students.
Oh, that's easy. Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? It's a nursery conveniently located between Ocala and Bellevue.
Again, it's Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? A nursery with a wide variety of just what you need or want at the most reasonable prices.
Kenny's Place, of course.
Kenny's Place at 7677 Southeast 41st Court. Give them a call at 867-1213. It's a caring place for people and plants. It's Kenny's Place.
Ocala's Got Talent, happening in May, but if you want to get in on the running, you need to apply. The dates are March 12th, 19th, and 26th from 10 to 6 p.m. each day, and the location is at Mojo's on Southwest 17th Street. Do you have what it takes to shine and stand out in what you do? Well, there's only one first place winner for Ocala's Got Talent, and it could be you. Audition fee is just $25, and spectator fee is $5. This helps the Heart of Florida Youth Ranch. Questions, call 352-595-7100.
Putting the local back into radio. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOCA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
This is WOCA News Talk 1370.
Hi, I'm Fran Darkington. When I need news, I pass the rest and tune to the source. WOCA.
18 minutes after 9 o'clock, let's return to Carol Ann Baldwin in the garden with Carol Ann. This is a nice day to be outside in the garden, huh?
Oh, it's a gorgeous day outside.
It's a nice day.
Beautiful day outside. Get out there and garden after you finish listening to the show, unless you have a portable radio to take outside with you. Yeah, we're coming in. The summer annuals or warmer season annuals are coming in. The warm season vegetables are here, and it looks like obviously we're not going to have any freezing temperatures before the 15th of the month. So planting out is not a big, definitely not a concern on this part, for me at least. So hopefully, while everybody comes to the spring festival, they'll also be getting ready to plant. They're getting their ideas, or they're going to come out and get some ideas. They'll pick up, there's all kinds of different plant vendors. I don't have the list of the vendors, but we know we usually have herb and vegetable seedlings that are either, some of them are just traditionally grown, other ones are organic or heirloom varieties where you'll have them, generationally. There's also just your ornamental plants, as well as some ideas on garden design and other garden art, etc.
You ready for a phone call?
Sure.
All right, let's take that call. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann Baldwin.
Okay, good morning, guys.
Morning.
Say, my ryegrass is starting to look a little shabby. I think the height of the sun and the heat every once in a while is kind of making it go dead, you know.
Right.
And what I want to do is replace regular grass seed where that is.
Right.
Can I do that now?
Yeah. Go ahead. I would mow off the rye. Don't mow it too short. Just mow your regular height. And let those clippings go back down in there because that's nourishing the yard. And then go ahead and put your seed down.
I know it probably won't germinate because it needs the ground temperature has to be at a certain temperature, right? For before it starts to go.
Right. I'm not exactly sure the temperature, but yes, with any seed that does generally take a specific temperature range for it to do. But you figure we're warming up pretty quickly. Bahia seed can take up to 28 days to germinate, no matter what. But if we're getting nice warm days. Sounds like we may get some rain this weekend, but you will have to irrigate to get that started. And I think a good bit of that is if you can keep the irrigation onto it enough so it doesn't dry out in between while we have some nice warm sunny days. And I think it'll get your germination up. I mean, if you want to wait a couple weeks, but I have no hesitation in doing it now.
Well, like a lot of people, I'm getting kind of antsy to get out there and start doing stuff,
Oh, sure. Right, but
real quick now, a question. If I got the seed down, and let's say we get a real hard freeze, would that damage that seed?
It could, but I'm not expecting a hard freeze because we're not even talking about any temperatures below the mid 40s, and our last expected frost date is next Tuesday.
Yeah, we're getting pretty close.
Yeah, so I don't see anything happening.
Yeah. Okay, so I got a little project I can do now. Thank you.
That's right. You're welcome. Yeah, and other folks out there with their lawns, and I know people are getting a little antsy, getting a little itchy, and wanting to get out there. If you feel like you're needing to fertilize and things like that, remember that if your grass isn't up out of that dormancy and actively growing, the roots won't take that fertilizer up. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to put the fertilizer down if your grass isn't growing completely yet. If you've had your irrigation turned off or you've just been doing it manually, you might go ahead and bump that on. If you water that grass a couple of times, you're going to see it begin to grow. It'll come out of that dormancy, sort of almost in a way pushing it out of there or just assisting it up and out. Once it's growing and you've had to mow it, that's when you know it's growing. Is that you've actually had to mow. Put that fertilizer down then, and then you'll be set for a couple of months. All of your turf fertilizers are going to feed anywhere between 8 and 12 weeks. You figure a good 10 weeks is what they're going to fertilize. You don't have to do it every 2 months, and don't use weed and feeds every 2 months. You use those things once or twice a year to fertilize properly. You can go on to the Solutions for Your Life website and find out the fertilizer schedule for your specific type of grass so that you're not over-fertilizing. Over-fertilizing and over-watering and improper mowing is the fastest way to have insect pest problems, fungal problems, and the works. It's, do it right and you eliminate the bad stuff. It just seems to, it works for the lawn. It works for pretty much everything we've got in life.
I'm not trying to.
No.
I'm not distracted. What I'm trying to do, I found a video of the smart pots, and I put it on the WOCA Facebook page.
Okay.
So people can watch because it's got an animated thing and it shows how the roots do what they do.
Right.
Of course, I couldn't hear it.
Right.
But it shows it. Plus, what I was more impressed by. Yeah. Besides the science of it, I guess, is just the aesthetics of it. There was a like a garden, right. And around the garden on the walkway, it had these pots like every 4 feet or so,
as
just
planters.
filled with flowers. Yeah.
Right, just as a planter, right? You don't have to use them for vegetables.
It's really nice, really nice looking.
Yeah, and they can be hidden. They're just a simple. Well, there's black and there are tan also. They have tan ones.
Oh, really?
Too, at least in the big one. Because I brought their website up, but I didn't. Because they have the big one, the tan one. I do have. Or one of the tan ones at the Ag Center, and it's the big one. So, but it's an attractive tan color. I wouldn't mind seeing it sitting on a walkway or a path or something filled with flowers, because hopefully you've filled it so full that you won't need to worry about seeing it. Right. You're looking at the plant and not the pot so much, because so many people spend a fortune on pots, and it's moreover, why don't you put it into the better soil? Your pots, who's looking at the pot? I want to look at the flower and the plant or the vegetable that you've got growing in it. And another little thing is, some folks live in restricted communities and things where you can't plant a vegetable garden, in your yard. But what's to stop you from putting one in a nice big container with some flowers around it? Put you a nice tomato plant. Eggplant has pretty flowers. Peppers are just a pretty plant themselves. Nice, healthy green, small yellow flowers, and you get peppers. It's like gardening is therapy, but you get tomatoes. It's just a better thing all the way around. You can even go with some of the edible flowers. I mean, right now the pansies and stuff are going away, but nasturtiums and your rose petals, you can actually have those. I mean, there's several different edible flowers out there that if you're looking for something different. You growing daylilies? Daylily flowers are pretty tasty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they actually are. But it's like, would you people stay away from my flower beds? You're eating my plants. So now we know why the bugs like plants so much. As we do too. But that. Why not? Why not look at some different things? Go with the larger container. You can plant more stuff in it, and you can grow vegetables in little hidden areas. Another thing with those pots that I like is that you don't have to worry about but what about drainage? In a plastic pot, everybody seems concerned that it's going to get too wet and stay too wet because the water can't come out of the sides. It only has whatever drainage the manufacturer put in the bottom. And if you usually need to set them up on some stone or a little piece of brick or something, and the larger the pot, more people are going, well, should I put a layer of stone in the bottom or something else to allow more water to come out of it? And a lot of times that is recommended, because you don't know. When you get a really big pot and you get that full of soil, once you're watering, the middle of that stays wet. Just because the top looks a little dry doesn't mean it's dry 7 or 8 inches down below. It can still be very wet. So watching drainage on plastic containers and other decorative pots is something you watch out for. Clay doesn't have that problem. Clay pots don't, or unglazed ceramics and things like that don't have that problem, because the moisture, the container itself will wick the water, the moisture away from them. So just, as the season comes on, we're a little dry now, but as our rains come in this summer, watch that you're not flooding any of your container gardens. If you do have some attractive plastic containers or such, you might put another couple of drain holes maybe on the back side that faces away. You could even put a couple small ones to where when we get one of those 4-inch rain events, that water's coming out of there before it has to go all the way through that 18 inches of soil that you've got in that pot, or that foot of soil that you've got in that pot. Maybe a couple extra small 1/4-inch, or 1/8-inch holes on the backside where you don't see it, but allows that water to escape for you.
We've got about 2 minutes left before the bottom of the hour. So at the bottom of the hour, we're going to get more calls.
Right.
Now, what I've been doing here, because I never did this before.
Okay.
I've tried to figure out what the link was so people on Facebook would know to click on the link and watch your show right now.
Ah, okay.
Get more people to pay attention to what you're trying to say, and maybe get more people in on winning some of these smart pots. But the actual smart pots will be given away at the garden show this Saturday.
No, I'll continue to get the names.
Okay.
I'll probably draw the names, because I have a dental appointment on the 15th. So unfortunately, I'm not going to end up being here. So I think we'll give them away on the 22nd.
Okay.
But I'll have it all. I'll have it all set.
Your teeth will be back in shape.
Yeah, I'll be able. Yeah, well, because they're playing with them at 9:30. Kind of hard to be here and there at the same time.
Real quick, I want to go back to the sugar guy yesterday, because he was also down on corn and potatoes. And I thought, oh man, I love corn and potatoes. Huh?
Because of the starch, because of the natural sugars that are in there, and there's starches. They're a carbohydrate.
Seems like it's a natural, God-made it. How bad could it be?
It's a carbohydrate, and actually having a baked potato is not bad. I guess a lot of people say, it's the potato chip. Having the corn on the cob, though, officially, I guess it's a grain and not a vegetable. But
good, though.
Don't take my corn on the cob away.
Yeah.
From me. Yeah.
Well, come on, I got to live life.
Yeah.
How old did my grandmother get to be? She always ate corn.
Yeah.
90-something.
If she had her own teeth and didn't have diverticulitis, she's good.
All right, we'll be right back. We got a half hour left. If you want to get your name in the running to get some of these free smart pots for your plants, your gardens, whatever you want to use them for, give Carolyn a call right now, 622-WOCA.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Another chance today for candidates to grow delegates for Republicans voting in Mississippi, Idaho, Hawaii, and Michigan. Polls showing that John Kasich is gaining strength there. The Ohio governor telling Fox and Friends.
We're working hard, and we have a good grassroots organization, a good message, and people are I think are beginning to listen a little bit to the record I have, the accomplishments, and the vision for the future.
Donald Trump's lead, though, remains significant.
Trump has an 83-delegate lead over Ted Cruz, who he is really hammering, along with Marco Rubio, as each contest becomes more and more important.
Fox's Peter Ducey. Democrats voting in Michigan and Mississippi, and a battle over abortion rights today before a federal appeals court scheduled to hear from the Utah branch of Planned Parenthood. Fox News, we report. You decide.
Any Jane Doe can tell you that Geico could help you save. But since money talks, we just ask the savings instead.
Greetings and sun salutations. I'm Jane's Money, and I never knew my self-worth until Jane switched her car insurance at Geico.com. Those 15 minutes built me up to real savings. Geico's been helping customers save money like me for over 75 years. So take that to the bank. And namaste.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Napa know-how.
Spend $24 right now at Napa, and you can get a free Napa Chase Elliott racing cap. Buy $24 of oil, get a free cap. Buy $24 of headlamps, get a free cap. Buy $24 worth of Pine Tree scented air fresheners. Well, we won't ask you why you need $24 worth of air fresheners. We'll just hand you a free Napa Chase Elliott racing cap. That's Napa know-how. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 3/31/16.
Black cow, the mature manure black cow.
We often mention enriching your native soil with Black Cow when you prepare a flower bed or vegetable garden, or plant new shrubs and trees. Adding Black Cow helps retain moisture and adds millions of healthy microbes to your soil. Healthy soil means healthy plants, but you can also top dress with Black Cow composted cow manure even after planting. You can come back a month or two later and spread Black Cow on top of the soil around the root zone of a shrub or tree. Spread it evenly over a flower bed or rows of vegetables in your garden. Black Cow releases nutrients slowly. It won't burn tender roots because it's fully composted. Look for the bright yellow and black bag at your favorite nursery or garden center. And visit the website too at blackcow, spelled with a K.com.
Black cow, the mature manure black cow. Cookies, 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 cookies. We go cookie eating cookies.
When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. King Cookie in the Paddock Mall in Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. So next time you're in the mall, stop by King Cookie or call 352-237-2557. KingCookieOcala.com. Customized cookies, cakes, and more. King Cookie.
Eating cookies. We're so happy eating cookies. Cookies!
I have an invitation for everyone. International speaker Stormy Fausa will be coming to Ocala to lecture on the topic, Discover Your Relationship with God, 3 Simple Questions. Stormy is a full-time practitioner and teacher of Christian healing, and he'll be speaking at the College of Central Florida Weber Conference Center at 3001 Southwest College Road, State Road 200. Stormy's free talk begins at 2 p.m. on Saturday, March 12th, and Stormy will be our guest right here at 11:05 a.m. on Friday the 11th to give us a preview, so be sure to listen.
Ocala's Got Talent, happening in May, but if you want to get in on the running, you need to apply. The dates are March 12th, 19th, and 26th from 10 to 6 p.m. each day, and the location is at Mojo's on Southwest 17th Street. Do you have what it takes to shine and stand out in what you do? Well, there's only one first place winner for Ocala's Got Talent, and it could be you. Audition fee is just $25, and spectator fee is $5. This helps the Heart of Florida Youth Ranch. Questions, call 352-595-7100.
WWOCA,
WOCA. AM 1370.
96.3. 96.3
Your source for the #1 sports weekends. Fox Sports, only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM.
25 minutes before 10 o'clock. It is really nice out there. Forecast calls for today, tomorrow, and Friday to be sunny and warm. And Saturday, there is mention of rain in the forecast. But hey, if you're a gardener, you're used to the rain. In fact, you rejoice when there's rain, right?
That's true. We just, let's hope it's not too much rain for
Too much,
Saturday. If they can put it off, just a light rain will be okay.
Well, what is it
here
calling
and there.
for? It's a 40% chance.
40% chance.
Yeah.
Well, so 4 in 10 people will get wet.
That's
That's
right.
the way I look
That's
at
right.
it. So
That's right.
if you're standing under a tent, you won't get wet.
That's right.
There you
and
go.
you're going to be under a tent,
And
right?
yeah, there's all kinds of tents. Our vendors bring their own. I think Master Gardeners actually set up some of the big ones. But there's all kinds of things to do on Saturday.
If you ever go
and
to
Sunday.
anything that you walk around on a hot day, and then it starts to drizzle, it's always
Always feels so good.
a nice thing. Yeah, it's not.
As
I mean,
long
if
as
it
it's
pours,
not a heavy rain,
right.
Yeah, to where you're walking around the rest of the day a little soggy. But yeah, you have a little light rain. Yeah, so bring your umbrella. One thing is, if you're doing some shopping over there, they do have the 4-Hers do the carry out service and even a hold area, so that you're not going, oh, how am I going to do any of this shopping? I don't have a wagon to bring, or bring your own wagon. That you employ a 4-H member, and they work for tips. It helps them go through summer camps and things like that, and the different 4-H projects they do. And those 4-H kids, they're our tomorrow's leaders. Not just in agriculture, but I mean a lot of the lessons
that when
they
you were a
learned.
kid?
No, I didn't.
No?
I had no idea about 4-H. My daughter did for a couple of years, but it was I did some scouting when I was a kid. But 4-H, these kids are good kids. The lessons they're learning now are good life lessons that they'll carry forward in the future. Whether or not it's just some of the things they've learned about where our food comes from, but it's not all about food. It is also clothing design. 4-H does. They do. Debate. There's so many different things that kids are involved in with that, and these kids on the 4-H club that comes out and they work for tips. So employ a 4-Her.
There you go.
Yeah. So, only thing we will ask you is please leave your pets at home. Service dogs, of course, are always welcome, but our pets, we don't want anybody to get stepped on. We don't want anybody's doggy to get into a fight. We don't want
big dog.
anything like that. Even if your dog is the sweetest thing in the whole wide world, somebody could be afraid of it also. Or and we don't need
At the
that.
Strawberry Festival, there was the Humane Society was there, and there was a young lady walking around a big Pyrenees something.
Oh my!
Whatever it was called.
Those are gorgeous dogs.
Wow, huge. 2 years old. 2 years old.
Yeah, still basically a puppy with a dog
Yeah.
that size. Big goofy dogs. Those are always the best.
Yeah, sweet. Named Luther.
Named Luther.
By the way, I have an armadillo I've named Casper.
Casper the Armadillo, because you can't find him.
Because he's like the friendly ghost.
Friendly ghost,
Well, it feels like I have a ghost. Well, until I realized what it was.
Right.
I kept thinking, okay, I'm haunted. Something's
moving around underneath the house.
Yeah.
And that's one of those, kind of creatures that we love to hate. And
I don't hate it.
But sometimes because they can dig in the flower beds, or they can dig up the yard, especially if you have grubs or something like that. But if they're eating grubs, they're also eating mole cricket larvae, and they will also eat cockroaches, and they will also eat all kinds of bugs that are outside.
Great. See?
Yeah.
See, that's why
they'll eat the palmetto bugs. Because they're rooting around in that mulch, in that leaf litter. So it's one of those you love to hate them or hate to love them. And don't pet them. They are wild animals. They can carry
There's
leprosy.
nothing. There's no fur really.
No, they're
It's
not.
They don't look pettable.
Cute. No, they're not cute. Don't let your pets harass them or anything. They were here, probably long before us. They do look a little dinosaur-ish.
Yeah, they do.
And realize that they can be beneficial. If they're tearing up your yard or things like that, take a look and see where your problem is, and you may be able to discourage, them by eliminating that problem. If they're coming under a fence or trying to get underneath your home, digging around your foundation, or if you have a mobile or a manufactured home where you're above the ground, check and make sure your skirting is secure all the way around, just so that they're not doing the damage underneath there, or making the noise in the middle of the night as you're trying to get your rest. Just try to exclude them from the area. So we can all pretty much
They don't seem
live in
to
a
see
harmony.
very well.
No, they are pretty visually
You shine the
impaired.
headlights on them, and they just keep going about.
They
it.
just
They don't seem to care.
Right.
But you make a noise, and they hear it.
And they'll hiss, and they'll scatter pretty quickly. If you are trying to trap them, realize if you trap any wild animal, you can't just let him go somewhere else. You have to have a plan of disposal.
Meaning killing it? You have to kill it?
Basically, yes.
Really?
Yes. You are not allowed to take it to a golf course or to another field. Everything has people let squirrels go in golf courses, rabbits go in golf courses. Everybody drops it all off at the golf course. But you figure every creature out there, they have their certain amount of space in the areas where they're at. And there's generally a natural balance, that there's not an overpopulation. They're not like people who will move into an area because they have good schools and a nice restaurant or two
Right.
and a job for you. They come in where there's enough food, and they reproduce in that same kind of thing. And some leave, and some move in and out, and then through death and attrition, that new ones take over. So if you take the one or two that are in your yard and you move them into another location, you're introducing two to compete, or one to compete with the food sources, et cetera, in that area. That's one reason why you don't want to do it. And just it's not legal. And they will try to find their way back, or you put them into an area that they're not familiar, and what's the first thing they do? Somebody runs them over out there on the highway because they're going, oh, the female over here has just shooed me away. I need to find another location. Or the main male animal shoos off this younger juvenile and sends them out hunting for a new location. So if you're having a problem with animals like that in your landscape, in your yard, do something to get rid of the problem that's inviting them in, and they'll leave. Just eliminate
I don't know what I did to invite them in, but I'm okay with them.
Right.
I like them.
Yeah, if you have no problem with them, and I have some in my wooded areas by me, and I think every morning my dog chases one. Or chases something every time I let him out at 4:30 in the morning, and through the woods he goes running, and I don't think he's looking for a tree.
Doesn't an armadillo look like a possum with a shell on it?
Yeah, it's kind of like possum on the half shell.
right. It looks like that. Yeah.
If you turn them over, it's possum on the half shell.
They must be related somehow.
I don't think so. I think it's just
Are they
the way
both
they're
rodents?
designed.
Are they considered rodents?
They're mammals. I know that I know that the possum is a mammal, and they actually raise their young.
The armadillo must be.
is a mammal, yeah.
They live birth and and milk.
And I believe that they nurse their young.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not
The hour
exactly
goes so
sure.
fast. Okay.
It sure does.
So we are up against another break, just about.
And we want to get some more names in.
We want to get some more names. If you have not put your name yet into the running, it's a simple contest. There's several prizes, not just one winner.
Not just one winner. Got a couple winners, and you never know. I may throw in one or two of the books that the publishing companies send throughout the spring and in the year that I end up collecting up, and we don't get a chance to give them away usually during the show, but I may throw a couple in on some of these. So
and also visit Carol Ann at the Garden Shed this coming Saturday, and you can get your name into the running there also.
Right, Saturday and Sunday I'll be there. Saturday afternoon, I forget what time my presentation is, but mine is out in the vegetable garden area. So come on out and see everybody. Take in, when you get there, get a schedule of when the stuff's going on, or hopefully I'm not speaking at a turn on it. Usually the Star Banner prints out a thing on that, so if you get your paper early on Saturday, it may have a schedule of events. They always used to do us like that, so hopefully I'm not talking in a turn on that they still do it. Yeah, that they still do it. Where they used to put a map in the pretty much like the flyer, but with a schedule of events, so that you can, bring a friend or bring a spouse, bring somebody to where one can go inside the auditorium and one can do the gardens, so that you get double the knowledge in the same amount of time.
And we are up against the break right now. If you want to call 622-9622, call during the break, and we'll put your name in the running for some of these smart pots.
Don't make me laugh. I had water.
And we'll take your calls for Carol Ann after the break. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. There is a high risk of rip currents at the beaches throughout the midweek period. Tuesday will be nice with sunshine and some clouds and a gusty breeze along the coast, the high 77 to 81. Partly cloudy Tuesday night, lows ranging from the mid and upper 50s inland to about the mid 60s along the coast. Wednesday and Thursday, times of clouds and sun and breezy. The high Wednesday 80 to 84, Thursday's high 82 to 86. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Are you still fertilizing flowers and vegetables the old-fashioned way? Then switch to Dynamite Premium Plant Food. The secret to more flowers, bigger blooms, and more vegetables is consistent feeding. Dynamite Premium Plant Food is formulated for our Florida climate and has a unique coating that releases nutrition consistently, so there are no peaks and no valleys. Dynamite is just a terrific product. It even contains the micronutrients plants need in small quantities for maximum growth. With Dynamite, you get an explosion of color, flowers, and vegetables. Dynamite comes in a handy shake and feed plastic bottle. Just one application will last up to 6 months. For more flowers, bigger blooms, and more vegetables, try Dynamite Premium Plant Food today. Look for Dynamite at your Home Depot or Lowe's garden department. Visit on the web at dynamiteplantfood.com.
Ocala's premier active adult community has done it again. On Top of the World introduces Indigo East, our newest single-family homes designed for the way active adults live, from just $149,990. You're hearing this correctly. Brand new homes from just $149,990. Join us on March 12th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and see these 5 all-new amazing floor plans for yourself. This is your chance to own a new 2 or 3 bedroom, 2-car garage, single-family home from $149,990. That includes granite countertops in your kitchen and baths, LED lighting throughout, a Whirlpool appliance package, and too many energy-saving features to mention. Don't miss out on this incredible event at Indigo East by On Top of the World. March 12th only. Visit our new Sales and Model Center. Take State Road 200 west of I-75 right on Southwest 80th Avenue. Or visit us online at ontopoftheworld.com. That's ontopoftheworld.com.
Restrictions apply. Subject to change without notice. See a sales counselor for full details. Equal housing opportunity.
All right, I think the computer froze up. So, Robin, if you're listening, you could reboot the computer because it broke down like at a perfect time, except it didn't play Joe's ad for Ocala's Got Talent, unfortunately. But we are ready to go back now with Carol Ann Baldwin. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. I guess Joe hears me. The phone number to call into the show is 622-9622. That computer didn't break down. The phone lines are open if you want to call Carol Ann during the next. We got. Oh, now I don't know how much time. 12 minutes left in the show. So
yeah, call in. We got any questions? Like to talk the gardening. And going through, I'm trying to think of one. Yeah, your callers are supposed to keep me going, is what you're supposed to do. But I'll keep talking about the Spring Festival because this will be my last day to talk about it. And then you'll just have to come out and come see and enjoy everything. Those who've been here for years know the festival. If you've been, into gardening, it's sort of like the opening season, the season opener for all the different spring festivals that go on around not just Marion County, but that Marion County and surrounding counties and all the different botanical gardens and garden clubs and community gardens and things like that have their different springtime events. And So ours over the years has grown, and I've been a master gardener. This is my 20th year. And so for the last 17 years, we've been at the extension office having the festival. But for the 3 years before that, they used to hold the Spring Festival at the City Auditorium on the grounds there and in the auditorium. So you see how small of a venue we had there. We were in the auditorium, out in the front sidewalks and street. They closed off the road there. And the last year we were at the City Auditorium, Suzanne Sheffitt's direction, and David Holmes, I think, was new with us, with Extension. We built a 900 square foot temporary garden on one of the grassy lots.
That's a lot.
That's a big garden, and it was fenced. It had fruit trees and a vegetable garden and a rose garden and a water feature, and all of this was temporary. It took about 2.5 days, I think, or a good day and a half at least, to build it, and it only took about 90 minutes to take it apart, and everybody just was so... He just wanted to leave it all there, but everything was in pots. It was all in temporary. It was just hidden. It was just hidden behind mulch, but all the mulch was held up with cedar shake.
That's interesting.
Shingles pounded into the ground, and a lot of work, a lot of effort was put in, and it was so gorgeous. And it was after that we moved over to the extension office area, and then we were able to showcase our gardens that are there. The Taylor Garden, which is predominantly a perennial and shade garden, and at that time we had the vegetable garden and the herb garden, and over these years it has grown into where we had the kind of started out as like the FYN, the Florida Yards and Neighborhoods kind of garden, but it became a butterfly and low maintenance garden over on the side, as well as some extra fruit trees that have been put in. And just, the growth that I've seen over the years in that, and in our show as well, that now we have this wonderful propagation area as master gardeners. Now this show, we don't utilize that. We utilize that during our spring and fall plant sales, where master gardeners have grown plants for sale as a fundraiser. This event for master gardeners, though it does raise some money, it does raise quite a bit of money, it's more of an educational opportunity for everyone. We as master gardeners learn by sitting in on some of the seminars, but we're there to educate everybody else out there, you, the public. That's why we are master gardeners, is to teach wannabe gardeners or newbie gardeners or experienced gardeners some new ideas, and to learn from them as well. You can always, if you don't learn something new every day, you're not paying attention to what's going on around you. I always,
Now, when you first started with the master gardener training, you must have gone in with a lot of knowledge already.
A little bit.
Really? But you've been doing this all your life.
Well, most of my adult life. I mean, it was when I got, I used to play with the garden a little bit at home.
Do you remember, it's been 20 years, but do you remember something that you learned that you said, I never knew that, and now it's like, seems like elementary?
Most everything, the effect of pH on the soil, and how on the plants, on how the plant can take up nutrients, or where nutrients are blocked or locked up because of the pH in the soil being incorrect. Never knew anything about that, though we were probably taught something like that in science in school. It just didn't sink in, never really clicked in at that time. The different seasons on growing in Florida. Now, I was learning some of that a little bit before that, because did mostly vegetable gardens at the house. And that's, I went in, and I think we all do, where I want to learn more. We don't go in of going, I want to teach people what I know. No, we go in going, I want to know more. Teach me what to do. And then once you start to learn, you go, I want to tell everybody else. And that's where that's where it comes out.
That's
and
true.
It's, you just want to share what you've learned with other people, and it's just one of those kind of fun ways of doing it, is that we get to put on this show. And all of the ladies and gentlemen that are master gardeners over there, they put forth a ton of effort, recruiting vendors, trying to keep folks happy, trying to change things up, trying to improve things. A few years back, they added in the kids gardening zone. It's inside, so that's a rain or shine activity for kids, and I think it's sort of aimed at those I'd say maybe under 12, down to the preschool age, where they've got activities of face painting and mask making, and they're going to planting their own seedling, and displays of a bat cave and a live beehive and a worm farm.
A worm farm.
Worm farm.
Oh man.
So all kinds of really cool stuff for the kids to do, and your children under under 12 are free, so they're getting all kinds of neat activities for free. You pay $1 to get in, and you bring as many kids as you want.
There you go.
And we get the kids involved into gardening and the educational opportunities this year. But what goes better with gardening but food? They've got a food truck rally this year, which I guess that's become quite a popular activity.
It's a new fad.
It's become a new fad, a new activity of late that I've seen it in a couple of different communities where you have the Friday night food truck rallies and such. So that's something different. So we got some new foods coming in, I guess. The garden decor, plants, flowers, seedling vegetables and herbs. It's not going to be a farmer's market, so you're not going to buy the produce. You're going to buy the plants to grow your own produce.
Oh wow, yeah.
And there's a good chance that we'll have somebody there that's selling worm castings. Worm castings are a great soil amendment, to go in with you get your bag of black cow at the house. You got, get your bag of worm castings, get you a smart pot, get growing.
Yeah. By the way, did you hear? I think I heard this from Robin. I'm pretty sure I did. That the farmers market that is downtown on the square is going to be moved to across from where you pay your electric bill.
Yes, I heard that because they're getting ready to start building or doing some remodel or something.
Doing something on the property that used to be the site of the chamber. Right. So they're moving across from where I pay my electric bill.
Right.
Which is where they used to service the city's vehicles, apparently.
I guess so. Yeah.
And they still have some they still have some cover there, so I guess you'll have partly covered
some areas.
Yeah.
So nice. Yeah, just things have to change.
I wonder when that'll take place.
I don't know. I did hear about it myself. Yeah, they should be. I would figure it'll be in the paper or back on the news that they've officially moved.
Let's see, we have a phone call. I don't know if we stimulated a call or not. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Hi, it's you calling real quick. I was downtown the other day going by the square. And I noticed where the skating rink was at Christmas time. Mm-hmm. That's all under construction, and I believe that the big sign says that's where the garage is starting to go up.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So then I guess that they've moved the.
But that's not exactly where the farmers market is.
No, okay.
But that might be the beginning of the whole thing.
Of the whole thing, right? Where you don't want anybody within that construction zone.
Yeah.
Kind of thing for safety reasons.
Certainly, things are happening downtown. That's great. That's a wonderful farmers market too. I just love going there, and also the one on 326 is another great one.
Right. Yeah, we've got some great farmers markets around Marion County, so there's no reason why you can't get some fresh fruits and vegetables that are local in season. And if they're true farmers markets, it means that they're grown here.
Yeah. We should be getting that first corn crop pretty quick, huh?
I would think that they've probably gotten that stuff in the ground. So, look at maybe Memorial Day.
Yeah, okay, before we know it, it'll be here.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait for the corn season. Thanks, you. Yeah, that's one of those great things is with our farmers markets and such like that around that you can get if they are true farmers markets, because that's what farmers market is, not a flea market. A farmers market means it's grown, generally grown within a local area. It might have been grown in the state, maybe not just in the county, or it might have been a county or two over, or processed if it's jams and jellies or breads or local honey and things like that are produced nearby, and things like that. So it's one of those kind of things of doing things with the local markets and the local resources that we have. But good thing to support what we have in our area where. I'm not so much necessarily reducing reducing your carbon footprint's cool, but buy it local keeps your jobs local. No, that's your.
And they say that the bee honey. I think somebody knows the science behind this, but they say if you get honey, locally produced honey, it's better for your health.
It's
there's some reason for that.
If you happen to suffer from seasonal allergies and you consume the local honey, the true local honey, you will actually be ingesting a processed portion of that pollen, and they say that helps you to build an immunity towards those pollens. So it's beneficial in that way. Not just the honey, but also even if you can handle chewing on some of the comb, that's the waxy substance in there. It's wax.
Like gum?
Like chewing on wax, like you did when you were a kid.
That's right.
The waxy lips.
It goes fast, Caroline.
It sure does, Larry.
Well, have fun at the garden show.
Sure will, and everybody stop by and come by and see.
We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Candidates making final pushes as Republican voters in 4 states choose delegates.
Voters in Mississippi, Idaho, and Hawaii decide.